Hey, this is Dave Coutts from 10-Inch Men and Talk Show, and you are listening to the Nothing's Shocking podcast.
We're putting the band back together.
The numbers all go to 11.
I'm talking about bands that rock. Led Zeppelin. What about Sabbath? AC/DC. Motorhead.
Does that mean it's louder? Isn't it any louder?
Well, it's one louder, isn't it?
We're not worthy! We're not worthy!
Why don't you just make 10 louder and make 10 be the top number and make that a little louder?
These go to 11.
I get up off the ground and raise my head. Days like this, think I should be dead. One for Satan, two for me. Let's cheat the devil, it's fun, don't you agree?
Welcome to the Nothing Shocking podcast. I'm your co-host, Jeff Untied, and with me in Dog Bowl Studios is
Coach Nez.
You can find the Nothing Shocking podcast on Libsyn or anywhere you get podcasts, like our Facebook page, or follow us on Twitter at No Shock Pod.
You can also find the Nothing Shocking podcast on Rock Rage Radio every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. Central Time. Our sponsor is Ragged Records, located in downtown Rock Island, Illinois, soon to be coming back to downtown Davenport, Iowa. We would also like to thank the Hong Kong Sleepover for allowing us to use their music for our intro and bumper ending. Tonight's guest is
Dave Coutts of Talk Show
and 10-Inch Men.
Yeah.
And he's presently in the process of releasing new material. It's not an album. He's releasing one single at a time, and man, it's fantastic.
Check out YouTube. You can find he's got a Dave Coutts channel, and check him out. It's awesome.
Yeah, you can also go to his Facebook page. He's also posting the singles on his Facebook page. I highly suggest you check that out. Like I said, if you're a fan of the Talk Show, if you're a fan of 10-Inch Men, it still holds the test of time. His new stuff is right up there with that stuff.
Yeah, and I think he said he's got another one coming here soon, so we look forward to it.
Yes, we do. So, hey, let's get right to that interview.
Awesome. Good night.
Good night.
Hello.
Hey, Dave. Welcome to the Nothing Shocking podcast. I'd like you to introduce you to my host, Jeff Untied.
Hey, Dave. How's it going tonight?
Jeff, long time no talk.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm good. How are you guys?
Awesome. This is fun.
Yeah, this is great. You know, I got to tell you, way back when I first contacted you, I was having a heck of a time trying to find your contact information. And I don't even know how I stumbled upon it in the first place, but man, trying to find you.
I was going to ask you the same thing. I was going to say, how did you find me?
It was it was through social media, through somebody that knew you, kind of helped me along the way to get in contact with you.
Oh, well, that's cool.
Yeah. See, the internet does work in positive ways sometimes.
Yeah, it does in positive ways sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, let's get right on with this. With COVID-19 slowing the music industry down, you've been creative and got yourself back into the recording studio making new music. Can you talk a little more about the evolution of your comeback to rock and roll?
The evolution of my comeback. Well, I would love to call it a comeback. I don't know if that's what it really is. But it kind of started when I went to a funeral. I hadn't been playing for a while. I've been busy with kids and wife. Mm-hmm. I tried to do a couple things maybe 10 years ago with a friend, and they just didn't pan out. So I've got 3 kids, and 2 of them have some slight disabilities. So there's more going on for me than a normal parent. That is set aside. I went to my buddy, my keyboarder, Jimmy Schumacher's funeral about 2.5, 3 years ago, and he died at 55 years old from lung cancer. It was a sad funeral. He was way too young. A couple of people that were there were musicians, and one of them asked me why I wasn't playing anymore, and I just told him, I don't know. And I went to go see a band that I haven't, that's something that I hadn't done in a while. And while I was watching the band, another guy walked in that I hadn't seen in 15 years, and, you know, it just kind of came together like that. I'm playing in a cover band with this guy, Mickey. And then I just started recording stuff. I don't know why. I just walked into a studio and I told the guy, I don't know what I'm doing here, but I want to record a song. Sorry if I'm being long-winded, but that's kind of how it started.
Oh, absolutely. That's fantastic. Jeff, you got it?
Yeah. So we saw that on YouTube. You had a couple of, on your YouTube channel, you got a couple songs out there. And I think the guy you were just talking about, was that Mark?
Mark Templin is former 10-inch main guitarist and lyric writer. No, Mark, he's helped me with lyrics. I haven't spoken to Mark in a little while, but I remember a lot of stuff that he wrote that I wanted to use, and some of that stuff I brought into the new songs.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh, yeah, of course, I'm going to give him props. Yeah, he writes great lyrics.
I'm going to kind of steal the next question here.
Go ahead.
How has your writing style changed over the years? Do you feel like or find that your writing style now has matured opposed to back in the 90s or what have you?
I don't know if it has or not. I think I want to be more careful with lyrics that are sung and recorded. You don't want to just say something that might sound, what would be the good word? I don't know. You just don't want to say mean or kind of ridiculous things that are going to be on the internet forever.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more
about
the writing style that you present today, opposed to your time in your younger day? Is there any examples you can
yeah, you know what? I'm trying to be a little less happy. I'm not trying to be, but I'm always, that's kind of one of my problems. I'm like overly happy. I don't know why. I'm positive. Mm-hmm. But there's so many things that happen in your life that aren't positive, and you know, I should feel free to reflect upon those too, and that's kind of what I'm doing.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you about the I think one of the newer songs you put on there. I think it was January of 21. The song's called "Let You In." Can you give us a little insight into the writing behind that song?
Yeah, that's basically an old song that I just threw a 180 on it. I recorded it on a 4-track. I think I was probably 27 years old.
Oh, nice.
And, with Mark Templin. And the lyrics were slightly, well, the chorus is kind of the same, but not. It used to be called, oh God, what was the old title of it? I think it was Let Me In. Anyway, I changed it around to, it was kind of a lovey-dovey type song, and I changed it all around because it was just way too sappy. So I basically wrote about my wife, Tracy, about some experience that we've had. I mean, the song is kind of like looking back on the things that we've gone through, and that's how that one came about, the new version.
Oh, great. Very cool. My two favorite songs that you've released recently are Saturday and Needles, Pins, and Thread. Can you talk a little bit more about the writing process of both of those songs?
Oh, okay. Yeah, Saturday was something that we wrote on the road with Talk Show, and it was never recorded. So they turned it into Glide for their 4th album, and Scott sang and redid the vocal melody into his style and rewrote the words. But it's basically the same tune. I went in to record it, and I added another part to it, and we kind of changed or added guitar parts to it that weren't there when it was originally played live. I added a couple more lyrics to it too.
Oh, nice.
But Robert wrote most of that song. I just had a friend say, you know, you should re-record that or actually record it and put it out there. So I thought about it. I thought, you know, why not?
Yeah.
So I did it. And I'd like to say something about Marty Beal right now. He is the guy that I go record with. He's an excellent guitar player, excellent producer and engineer. And none of these recordings would be anything without Marty. He's really been amazing.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Can you talk?
He's a really talented guy.
Yeah, definitely.
Can you talk a little bit more about Needles, Pins, and Thread? That is my favorite song out of everything that you've released recently. I mean, that song is a banger.
that's so sad because I didn't have anything to do with writing it.
Well, what about the recording process?
Mark Mackis is in our cover band. He's the guitar player, and he wrote the whole thing. And gave me, I've never heard any of his original songs. And when he gave me the tape or the MP3, and I listened to it on the way home, I was blown away at the energy that was coming out of this thing. And he asked me to sing it. I said, Mark, why don't you sing it? You got a good voice. And he said, no, man, I want you to do it. So I did it, and basically I just learned the words, sang it about maybe 20 times to the tape, and went in and recorded it. We had some fun with it.
Oh, yeah. And I'm telling you, man, when you sent me that song and I played it, I was like, this song is a banger. Yeah. I mean, it was phenomenal. Your voice went perfectly with that song. It was fantastic.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. You've released 5 songs. Is it now 5 songs independently? Is that how many have you released now? Is it 5 or 4? Or how's it working right now?
Well, if you count Mark's Needles, Pins, and Thread song, then that would be 5. But yeah, I got another one on the way too.
Yes.
Oh, cool.
Now, with that being said, I kind of talked to you about this before. We're noticing that the way of the future now is to release songs independently. And not release a full-length album or not even a 5-song or 6-song EP. It seems like we're going back to the days of going to the record store and buying a 45. Yeah. Except now it's on the internet and people are not buying it; they're stealing it. Yeah. So
wait a minute, what's a record store? What is that?
We still have a few around here. We do, believe it or not.
Well, that's cool. That's nice to know.
Yeah, absolutely. So with that being said, what are your thoughts on creating a solo album of your own or a 6-song EP? Do you see that coming in your future, or is it something you're comfortable with just doing it single by single at a time?
Single by single is fine with me. I mean, once I get a few, maybe I'll put them all together and maybe put out a piece of vinyl. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
But I really have to gauge the interest here. This stuff is all being paid for by me. And if I'm not getting a ton of, interest, it's just all kind of a waste of money, really, to go ahead and print, 100 vinyl records and have them sit in my closet.
That would not happen, and you know that.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if it would or not, but I'm kind of just gauging the interest, really. This last song I'm doing is it might be the last one I do for a little while, just because it takes a lot of time. I love doing it. It makes me happy. But, if it's not real fruitful or in other ways, then, it's just not really worth it.
You're stealing our thunder here. You do realize that when you're saying that.
Well, you can erase that if you want. I'm just being truthful here.
Yeah. No, I get it.
I love doing it. But it's kind of taken away from other things I could be doing and planning on,
Yeah. I was just going to ask you if you were, when you go, if you were to release something, would you release it under your name or would you go under a band moniker?
Oh, I would just do it under my name.
Cool.
Because, thanks to the guys in Talk Show, they gave me a little bit of a name. I was very much a nobody before they called me up. And now, and that's another reason why I did Saturday, too, because I needed to be more interested if everybody knew that Robert DeLeo was a co-writer in that song. So that was another reason that I put that out there. Secondly.
Well, it kind of would lead into our next question. It wouldn't behoove us if we did not discuss one of my favorite albums, and that is the Talk Show album, the one-off album featuring yourself on vocals, the DeLeo brothers and Eric Coutts on drums, of Stone Temple Pilots. Can you talk more about the formation of that band, how it all came together?
How it came together. I had just quit 10 Inch Men. I was in that band for 10 years. We were opening up for Bon Jovi. We had opened up for them twice. The record had just come out, and they asked us to go tour with them to play soccer stadiums in Europe for the summer. And the band, we were all ready to go. We thought, oh, this is it. We finally got our shot here.
Yeah.
And the record company decided they didn't want to spend the money, which was only going to be $23,000 back then in 93,
Yeah.
94, to send us for the whole summer to go play stadiums with Bon Jovi. So when I found out they wouldn't let us go, I just decided to bail. I was 33 at the time, 32. And I'd put too much time in it already, and I was getting a little pressure from Tracy to get life going here, you know? So I weighed my options out and I bailed on the band, got a job, got health insurance, all that stuff. A year later, one of the guys up front at the place of work where I was told me that the manager of STP was on the phone and wanted to talk to me. I said, yeah, shut up. And he goes, no, I'm not kidding. So I got on the phone, and it was, I think his name was Stevens? No, not Stevens. I can't remember his last name. But we talked for about 10 minutes on the phone. So they were looking for a new front man, and I was going, wow, I really love those guys. I had met Robert and Eric, not Eric, but Robert and Scott previously. They opened up for 10 Inch Men in Huntington Beach. And hadn't heard from him since they became rock stars. But so I don't know. A couple weeks later, I met Robert and did an audition for them, all four of them in Robert's house. I sang a cappella. I think it was a grassroots song I sang, just standing on the stairs. And they go, okay, yeah, we want to do an album with you. I mean, it was such a trippy audition, you know?
Yeah.
So, okay, I'm going, well, I don't really sound anything like Scott, nothing at all, and I don't write a lot of lyrics. And they said, that's fine, we don't want you to sound like Scott, and we'll all write lyrics. So we started messing around with demos and stuff, and the first demo we did was Hide, which is that slower song on the album.
Yep.
There's a few slow songs on the album. I thought maybe too many, but anyway, that was the first one that we did, and I think the second one was, I can't remember the name of the song. Settle Down, you know. What's the name of that song? Anyway, the second one was that song. When I remember the name, I'll tell it to you. I've been up since 5 a.m, sorry. And so we did the demos. I think we waited a few months because they were still doing live shows. They did David Letterman with Scott while he was in and out of being able to play with them. And then I was kind of on a waiting thing because they were talking about touring for their third record, which was Tiny Music.
Right.
So I was in waiting there. And I think they knew that Scott was going to have trouble and get back into his habit. So they were just kind of waiting for that to happen. And when it did, they called me, and we started rehearsing for the record, and we started choosing songs to do.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Go ahead, Jeff.
You guys did a video that got some pretty good MTV play for Hello, Hello. Can you talk?
Yeah, that was fun. You know, that thing won Rock Video of the Year on MTV.
Oh, it did? I didn't realize that.
Yeah, and the song Hello, Hello, it's pretty funny, actually. The song Hello, Hello went to number 6 on Billboard rock charts. I mean, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
You know, we broke the top 10 with the first single that came out, and they didn't put out another single. It was all over.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a bummer because, we like that album.
Absolutely. So
I liked it too, man. Thank you.
Fantastic album. I guess it kind of takes me back to 97. It was my first year as an educator. I was sitting at my desk during my lunch break, I believe it was. And, I'm a 24-year-old kid. Got his first teaching job, and I had stopped at the gas station. I picked up the new Rolling Stone magazine, and I was thumbing through it. And there was an article about the new talk show album. I was like, what is this? Reading about it, it's like, whoa, this is Stone Temple Pilots without Weiland, and this is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know that had a couple of questions. That was, I don't remember which DeLeo brother was answering the question, and it was great reviews from Rolling Stone, and was highly praised, obviously, by your bandmates. But the thing that caught my eye was I thought, okay, this is it. Scott Weiland is obviously having issues, the issues that he did have. This is going to be it. This is going to be the new band. And I went out, I think after work, immediately went out and bought the CD. Coming home, listening to it, I remember going, wow, this is it. And I said, I can't wait till the next album comes out. And I'm waiting year
Did you really instantly like it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there was
because so many people were going, oh my God, this guy sucks. His lyrics suck. He doesn't sound like Scott. And it was like, wow, I got a lot of negativity there.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see that.
And kind of that kind of reflected with the band while we were touring.
Yeah.
And, I think that me putting in 25% of the writing on that record and being the singer of the record, I don't think I should have taken the full brunt of the blame because the record didn't sell. But that's kind of how I felt that's what I felt I was getting. So it's Dave's fault.
Yeah.
So,
well,
whatever, guys.
The thing that kind of took me back is, as the internet evolved, and you see all these little comments or clickbait about talk show. If you've ever gone on and seen any of this stuff, and people have their own theories and about the band, and there was one theory that said, oh, this album was already written. This was a Stone Temple Pilots album already in the works, and they had to get a different singer because Scott Weiland was not able to do it because of his stints in rehab and what happened.
No,
but those
it didn't happen that way.
And that's the internet rumor that was flying around.
Well, a few of the songs wouldn't be on there if it was already recorded because those songs were mine.
Exactly.
That I had written, music and lyrics.
And it's good to hear that you could put the kibosh to that because it never ceases to amaze me when you have a one-off album like the Talk Show album or like the Army of Anyone album or whatever you want to talk about, any of the stuff that the DeLeo brothers have done or any other artists have done. There's all these rumors that swirl around about why it was a one-off thing, whatever it was, and it's almost comical to listen to people's conspiracy theories on why things didn't work out. Let
me tell you something real quick about comparing the Army of Anyone album to the Talk Show album. Talk Show produced the record themselves. Yeah. They did not get a producer. They did not get a named singer, right? They didn't get a known singer. They got some nobody like me. And I think I don't know how many records AOA sold, but they both did not do well, right? So AOA, they got Richard Patrick, who was a very well-known singer, and they got the guy who produced Pink Floyd The Wall to produce the record, and it still flopped. So put those two in perspective. Kind of funny, huh?
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, Eric and I were fans of both of them. So
yeah, I mean, it's one of those kind of things. Where
yeah, I am too. I like them. I like the AOA stuff, but I mean, the way they put that one together compared to the way Talk Show was put together was like milk and frickin' Jack Daniels.
Great comparison. Fantastic.
Yeah. Kind of true.
Yeah, I hear you. Every tune on that Talk Show album is top notch. Yeah, I every time I play it, and I've been playing it the last couple of days, and I've been doing it like when I've been working around the house, what have you. And every song on that album for me, and I know for Jeff as well, it's just every song is I don't want to call it. It's not an easy listen. I'm not talking about easy listening music, but it's not like one of those type of albums where it's over the top to try to really wrap your head around it.
If it was a great looking girl, you'd say she's not hard to look at.
Exactly. There you go. Yeah. All right.
I appreciate that.
The only thing I was going to wrap up with Talk Show was just that it was in my constant playlist for quite a while in the late 90s, early 2000s, and I think
that is so cool to hear. I looked up where you guys live, and man, it's way across the country.
Yeah.
And just to know that people appreciate that stuff from some kid that grew up in Long Beach, it's cool. I love to hear it.
I think it's aged well. I think it's timeless.
Absolutely.
Oh, that's nice to hear. And of course, we all know the musicians on that record are top notch. So I had a little help.
Well, you included.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
Well, and I think there's like a lot of people that don't realize the area that we're from. really for a long time, and I think it's coming back, had a underground rock and roll movement here.
Yeah.
We have some clubs here that have brought in some large acts for the size of the facility that we have.
Yeah.
We're talking about only a couple hundred. We always refer to Ribco, the Rock Island Brewing Company that hosts a lot of the shows here. It's kind of like our.
And there's only a couple hundred can fit in there.
I think 250, Jeff, is that about?
Yeah, something like that.
And we call it like our CBGBs, except it's much cleaner.
I'd love to get a little band together and come do some originals there one day and open up for somebody.
Yeah, absolutely.
That'd be fun.
And we have two venues here, Ribco and then Rascals Live, and they're very small, like 250. I think Rascals is like 150 or something like that.
Something like that.
So they bring in. I know Striper played at Rascals one time.
I missed that one.
So, but let's get back to what we were talking about here. So this is my last question on the talk show end of things for you. But like I said, every tune on the talk show album is top notch for myself and Jeff. I know. My two favorite songs on that album are "Morning Girl" and "Everybody Loves My Car."
Yeah.
Do you have?
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, "Everybody Loves My Car" is that's my favorite song on the album. To be truthful,
that's so cool.
Yeah,
they're both fun songs. "Morning Girl," I wrote the music to that and the lyrics. That's a nice compliment. "Morning Girl" is about my wife also.
Oh,
nice,
fantastic.
That's about Tracy. She likes to sleep in, but she works nights, so
Yeah. Do you have certain songs that felt extra special to you? I mean, outside of obviously "Morning Girl," that felt special to you to actually get behind the mic and sing them live?
I'm sorry. What was the question?
Do you have certain songs on that album that were extra fun and extra special for you to sing live to an audience?
When we played live, when we did the tour?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I like to do all of them. You talking about special ones?
Yeah.
I think "Peeling an Orange" was fun to sing live.
Mm-hmm.
I think the ones that are special to me were the ones that were easy to sing live. "Hello, Hello" was not easy to sing live, but I pulled it off best I could. Let's see, what else did I like to sing live? You know what's sad is that when I was just starting to get that whole set wired, because we never rehearsed. We rehearsed maybe for a week, and then we went out and we were playing in front of frickin' the bass player at Cheap Tricks at our first show in Nashville. He's sitting in the second row, Tom Peterson.
Nice.
And I'm going, oh my God. And we're barely ready,
Yeah.
But by that, we toured 2 months, then we took a break, and then we toured 2 months more. And that was it. By the last few gigs, I mean, I had it so down and it was feeling so comfortable, and it's like over. And I knew it was going to be over. And it was just like, damn, this sucks. But yeah, it takes a little while to get your groove going live, with a new bunch of songs and new band members that you've never toured or lived with.
Yeah.
So it was all just starting to feel comfortable to me, and when it was over.
With that being said, now would you ever consider playing live gigs at different locations and resurrecting some of those old songs and playing them live along
already doing it?
Oh, you are doing it.
Yeah, we're playing End of the World live.
Oh, cool.
We're playing one of my older songs from 10 Inch Men live, Crazy Daydream. We're playing that live. We play Beautiful live sometimes, which is on that 10 Inch Men record.
Yeah.
What else? I don't know. We're going to throw in some. I think I want to play Tear Gas in August live, that new song. I want to do that one, and maybe even Ocean. Those would be fun live songs. But when you're playing in the cover band, you want to play stuff that people know.
Exactly.
So I guess if the song's catchy enough for a first time here, then maybe they'll like it. So we'll see. We'll see how they work out.
You could always do a Dave Coutts Sings talk show, the entire album in its entirety.
We could do that. I definitely have enough songs to do that. But then you got to bring a crowd for that, right?
I don't think you would have a problem doing that. I don't think so. Jeff, do you want to take the next?
I don't know.
Let's talk about your Pretty Vultures album from 1993. One of my favorite songs is Karma.
Karma, cool. Jack helped with that one.
Can you talk
Jack
a little
Daniels.
bit? Yeah.
Karma is about. Well, I was in a pretty good mood when I started strumming that one. I was in an apartment on the second floor, and it was probably pretty late at night, but I just started banging out those chords. And I just kind of think I wanted to sing about just rising above it all for a little bit and maybe coming back down if you have to. But that's kind of what it's about in a quick sentence, you know?
Nice.
It's might be a little bit about reincarnation.
Yeah.
Which what is the name of that song? That song I'm trying to think of on the talk show record. Settle down, you know. Oh, come on, you guys, help me out.
I know.
I'd have to go upstairs and go grab the album out of my rock.
So
and roll.
Long. It's called So Long. So Long's about reincarnation as well. Yeah.
Well, you know,
which I don't know if I believe in it or not, but it's a pretty wild subject.
Oh yeah, definitely.
With that being said, I got to tell you, I discovered talk show first, obviously.
Yeah,
then I went back to 10-Inch Men after I did some research, and that was the prehistoric internet days. Trying to figure out.
Yeah, and I have to thank the talk show guys for that too, because they helped put 10-Inch Men out there. They really did, because our 10-Inch Men's record company did not promote 10-Inch Men at all. And I think there was a couple of really great songs on that record that could have been on the radio. So it never happened.
Yeah,
it's funny. I mean, I've had 3 really close calls with Flirting with Fame. The first one was with that EP that we did in '86.
Yeah.
We had a really good reputation with this little radio station in Long Beach. They were called KNAC. They were called Rock and Rhythm. And they played really cool alternative stuff like The Cure and some rock stuff too. And we were so excited when that record came out because we knew they were going to play it, because they played the crap out of our single. The single, which was, I think, recorded in '84. Anyway, as soon as the record was done, KNAC went heavy metal. And this little EP that we put out was not heavy metal. It was not even close.
No.
So what we had to do was mail this thing out to all the college stations in the country and see if we hit some college stations. And we got #1 in New York City, and we got #1 out there in Florida and the whole state. So we went out and toured in Florida for 2 weeks when I was 27. But our keyboard player and our bass player quit 2 months before we went and did that. So we didn't have a keyboard player. It was crazy. That's just the first time that we could, I think, made something happen. And then the second time was the record deal with 10-Inch Men that we did the full album with, and the third time was Talk Show.
Yeah. Well, with that being said, when I went back and discovered the Pretty Vultures album, I got to tell you, I thought, wow, the Talk Show album is fantastic. I go back, I find the Pretty Vultures album, play. I was like, Jesus. Yeah. I mean, just every bit as good as the Talk Show album, and maybe even a little bit better.
Oh, right? Wow. Come on.
I mean,
but thank you.
But once again,
there's some good stuff on there. I'll agree with you, man.
I got to tell you, the how you kind of compared it was like, that album was definitely a banger, and it was like a looker too. Like if it was a girl in a bikini, you would keep on staring. I mean, it's a really good listen. And with that being said, is like I just never understood listening to that album and listening to that album today, how it didn't catch on somewhere. Not even on like the MTV 120 Minutes or something.
Well, you
like
got
that.
a close call. You had I think the song "Go With Me" ended up on the Hellraiser 3 soundtrack.
Yeah, that happened. It's funny. We went to that the premiere of that movie. We were invited to go, so we thought we were all cool hot shots, right? We showed up to watch the movie, and thinking, well, where's our song? Thought it was going to be in the movie, and we finally heard it. It was in this, I think it was like a sex scene, and it was on the radio while these people were having fun, and it was so low you could barely even hear it in the movie. It was so low.
Or sometimes they're like 10 seconds.
All right, so you had kind of spoke to me a little bit on the phone the other day about maybe discussing a little bit about the 10-Inch Men promotion the band did for themselves back in the day. Can you kind of discuss and talk to our audience a little bit more about that?
About the promotion of 10-inch Men?
Yes, how you were kind of doing it yourself?
Oh, yeah, in the beginning. Yeah. So what we had to do was we got this list of all the college stations in the country that played, rock or alternative type music. Can you guys hear me okay now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so we got this list, and we paid for our records to get printed on vinyl. We got a list of the addresses for all the little college stations, and we bought these like cardboard envelopes to put the records in. And then we mailed them out. Put little notes on them. Hey, we hope you like the record. It's us, 10-inch Men from Long Beach, California. And, just basically like throwing frisbees out in the universe. See what happens.
Yeah.
So that's how you had to do it back then.
Oh, yeah.
You're not going to send it to KLOS when you don't have a record company backing you. They're not going to play it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless it's like exactly what they want to hear and it's just amazing. Maybe they would play it. You guys ever heard of K-Rock out here in California?
We have.
Yes.
Big alternative station. They were very, very famous. We did drive down there to K-Rock in Pasadena, Mark and I, and threw the record over the fence. That's how you had to do it back then. You go to the parking lot and throw the record over the fence. And say, hey, give this to Rodney. There's a security guy behind the fence. And, hopefully he gives it to Rodney. So we're driving home just thinking, wow, I hope he got it, and all of a sudden we hear Rodney go, okay, well, next up we got 10-inch Men on a 12-inch record. And then he played Flower Power, and Mark and I were just like, we almost jumped out of the car on the freeway. And that's the last time he ever played it.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I know.
I like that one, and I like Bars of Time off that EP. Hours in Pain.
Oh, I like that one too. Thank you. I like New Eyes too.
Oh, fantastic.
Kind of a slower one, but New Eyes is cool. I like it.
Yeah.
Jeff, you want me to take the next one? You got one more?
I guess I had your very first EP. I think came out in 1984. It was a 12-inch. The song off that one was "Good for the Soul," and that had quite a different vibe, quite a different sound. Can you talk?
Oh my goodness, yes, it did. We went through a little bit of a metamorphosis after that record. That song, that's the one that got played on KNAC, like heavy rotation, actually. It's, very, very poppy. Hermit sounding, right? The vocals are so high pitched on that song.
Yeah, from your picture, I almost thought a little new wave, but.
Oh, definitely. We were all wearing little ties, two ties. Big baggy pants with pleats in them, and we were like the anti-punkers.
Yeah.
All right, I have one more question for you, then we're going to let you go for the night. I know you're on your way home.
I'm good now. I'm in the car. I'm good. Whatever.
All right, man. Well, here we go. 10-inch Men sonically felt like the band's influences were kind of all over the board. How did 10-inch Men, how did it evolve sonically? Where did all the influences come from? What were you guys listening to kind of create that sound?
Influences for songs. Well, I know they were kind of all over the map, right? That's probably why it didn't sell, because most bands, all their songs are kind of packaged the same. They kind of have the same sound to them, but this one, I don't know. I wanted to call that album Psychedelic Nursery Rhyme, but that didn't happen.
Yeah.
How did they come together? Well, a lot of the songs I would go through Mark's lyric books and just pick out stuff that I think I could sing to and put a melody to. And then I just start playing the guitar. Maybe I'd have a 6-pack of beer and a pack of Marlboros or something and sit there on a Saturday night and try to write a song. And if I got a certain feeling after I was playing it for a little while, I thought, man, this is a good one. I'm going to keep working on this one. And then just kind of went from there on that kind of thing, on writing those. And sometimes you're driving on the freeway. I wrote Go With Me on the freeway, on the 10 freeway in Los Angeles. I was thinking about Tracy. And I wanted horns in the song, and I'm thinking, I'm screaming down the freeway, and all these people are probably looking at me. I'm in this big truck, and I'm going, go with me! And I'm thinking, ba-ba-da-ba-ba-da, go with me! Ba-da-da-ba-ba-da. And that's how that was written, just in the truck.
Nice.
Fantastic. Well,
you guys are going, this dude's a real certified coot.
No, I can relate because I sing in I've never talked about this on the podcast before, but I sing in a men's barbershop harmonies chorus, and I do. I practice.
Oh, right on! You got to be good to do that.
I practice the songs in the car, and so I got a Jeep, and I take the top off, and I'm singing 1920 standards ballads, driving down the highway.
Well, right now people just think you're talking on your phone, but back then it's like, what is that coot doing? He's screaming in his car. What is he doing? Now they just think, he's talking. No, he's fighting with his wife on the phone.
Well, Dave, we're out of our questions for you for this evening. We want to thank you. We want to thank you so much for your participation.
Oh, yeah, this has been so much fun.
And like I said, getting to know you and talk to you and pick your brain about the talk show and 10-inch has been phenomenal. But this is how it's going to work out. We have a couple of episodes to release before yours, but we should have this out in about 2.5 weeks, I believe. And when it's ready to go,
that's great.
Yeah, Jeff will have it all edited and everything all ready to go. And when it's ready, I'll send you the link immediately.
Okay, cool. That'll be fun, you guys. And I hope it does well for you. And thank you for having me, really.
Yeah, no, we thank you for coming on, and hope you do some more songs.
Yeah, man, it's been a blast. Thank you so much.
I do too, man. I really do too.
All right, man. Have a good night.
Guys.
Take care.
All right, thank you.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you for listening, and hope you're enjoying the Nothing Shocking podcast. Please help and support our new partner, the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast.
Welcome to the night. You think you know Night Demon? Then the Night Demon Heavy Metal Podcast is for you. Step into the darkness as we peel back the curtain to give you an unprecedented, all-access look into the mind and the heart of the demon. We're talking band history, song analysis, studio anecdotes, stories from the road. It's everything a diehard Night Demon fan could want and more. This is the only place to learn the inside scoop, the deep dive trivia, the untold tales from the band members themselves and those closest to the Night Demon story. Need more? The Sacred Night Demon Crypt will be pried open to reveal demo recordings that have never before seen the light of day, all with in-depth commentary by the band and the people who were there for the writing and recording process. This is a gold mine, a treasure trove of all things Night Demon. Head over to nightdemon.net or wherever you listen to podcasts.